Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tyron'e Southern's Cooking back at you today with another video. Alright, what we're going to be doing here today, we're going to be doing us some chocolate chip cookies. That's what we got here today. We got a half a cup of brown sugar and a half a cup of white sugar. We got our little chocolate chips. Thought these were the big chocolate chip, but they're a little small. But anyway, we got 2 eggs, 2 sticks of unsalted butter, vanilla extract, cornstarch, baking soda, and we got some all-purpose flour. So we're going to go ahead and what we're going to do, we're going to melt this butter first. And we're going to show you how we're going to do that. All right, we got our butter on. We're going to have our butter on medium heat. We want it to melt until it turns brown. You'll see what I'm talking about. But you want to make sure it's on light heat. Because if not, you'll burn it. You know, that's something you don't want to do, is burn the butter. All right, starting to melt. It's very important that you don't have your stove on too high. You want to see just a little bubbles, just a little bit of bubbles, not a whole lot. So we're going to wait till this will turn brown before we take it off and let it cool. Turn it down to 1 notch. Might be a little too high. Like the just keep stirring it a little bit, like that. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. Got to turn brown. Got some paper in there. That paper out of there. Turn the stove off, it's a little too high. I don't want it that high. So we're gonna turn it off. But we're gonna constantly stir it. It's starting to turn a little bit. We're going to constantly stir it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. See how butter don't turn brown? That's what we want. Just like that there. Now we're going to take this out the heat here. And we're going to let it cool off. You can tell it's right because you'll smell a good sweet aroma. Yes, sir. You see them brown crystals at the bottom now? That's what we want right there. So we're going to let this cool off. We might put it in the refrigerator. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We got our butter cool. We kind of left it in there a little longer. And it got a little too cool. So I had to try to melt it back up again. But that's how you want your butter to look, just like that there. So what we're going to do, go ahead and pour our butter. In our pot. God dog it. Get all that in there. I'm trying to let you see me pour it in there, but we're gonna get all that in there, out of there. All right. All right. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna add our sugar. I think I want to melt this in a little bit. It ain't like I want it. It's a little too froze. We're gonna put it on the heat just a little bit and melt it down a little bit. I left it in the freezer just a little too long, but I get it right. All right, y'all, got it right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and add our sugar in. We're gonna stir this up. You can use dark brown sugar. I got light brown sugar here. Stir it up real good. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put our 2 eggs in. We're gonna stir that up good. Just like that. Get it all stirred up real good. All right, y'all. This is the key right here. We're gonna add cornstarch and baking soda, not baking powder. You can use baking powder. You're gonna have some blowed up biscuits, cookies, like biscuits. And we ain't cooking biscuits. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna set this to the side for a second. We're gonna get our all-purpose flour. I couldn't find a regular, oh, there go a regular spoon right there. We're gonna put 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And 1 tablespoon of baking soda. That enough? Set that on to the side. We're gonna mix this here. Try not to waste it like I'm doing. We're gonna mix that there. All right, we're gonna bring our bowl back up. We're gonna add our flour. We're gonna stir it up real good. Get this mixed up good. You know, I forgot to add my vanilla flavor. It's sitting right in front of me. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get it in now. We're gonna get it in now. We're gonna still mix it up. We're gonna add some salt. We'll add some salt. All right. Now we're gonna get this stirred up real good again. Gonna get it in there, y'all. It's right in front of me, but that's all right. That's all right. Get all that off the side. All right. I think we got it mixed up good. Now, we're going to go ahead and add our mini chips. We got about 2 cups of them. Go ahead and add that. So our dough is looking now. We'll have plenty of chocolate chips in it. Yes, sir. This is how our dough looking. This is how our dough looking. Let me give it a taste and see what's going on. Gotta work. Gotta work. Yes, sir, that'll work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we ain't got no baker's joy. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna grease our pan with some vegetable oil first. I'm gonna grease it a little bit with some vegetable oil. We don't want it to stick. Then we're gonna spread with some non-stick spray, even though it ain't baker's joy, what I don't have, so we got to make what we got work. Make what we got work. All right. Now we're gonna spray it too. We got 1/3 cup of a scoop here. We're gonna scoop this with. That down like that there. It's just like about the same as a regular ice cream scoop. Space it out a little bit. We ain't only cooking 3 at a time. We got our oven set on 350. All right. Space them out about right. We're going to push it down just a little bit. Yeah, try to get it spaced. Look like this one here got more dough than the rest of them. That's all right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this one the same way. Same way. You can also, you don't want to make that many cookies, you can also put it in the freezer. Get your Ziploc bag. You can put it in the freezer. You can cook it any other time. All right. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna tap this down just one time. All right, y'all. We're gonna throw it in the oven. We got it on 350. Everybody oven cook different now. Basically, want to put it in for about 10 minutes. It might take a little longer. I don't know. Depends on how the oven cook. We'll be back. All right, our cookies done came out the oven. Look like almost like tea cakes. But next, we're gonna make another batch. Instead of us using that 1/3 cup scoop, we're gonna use a 1/8 cup scoop. Make the cookies a little smaller than that there. But they still look good and smell good. Still look good and smell good. These are the kind you be buying out the store. Homemade, that they be having at the cash register. We're gonna let them cool off a little bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we're gonna do, we got another pan here. So what we're gonna do, Go ahead and scoop this here. Cook it here. Scoop that one right there. Scoop that one right there. Scoop that one right there. Okay, a little piece broke off there. I can go ahead and taste that there and see how it tastes. Scoop that right there. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna taste this little one right here. See what's happening. Chewy. Yes, sir. We're gonna go ahead and take this one off. We're gonna go ahead and take this one off, y'all. Yes, sir. These what I'm looking for right here. Full of chips. I wish I'd have bought the bigger chips. We're gonna set that over there. Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we know greased our pan again. Now we're gonna make them a little smaller than that. We got a 1/3 cup right here. Scoop. And on out of there. All right, we're gonna make them smaller this time, y'all. And we'll go from there. We're gonna get the other pan and we're gonna slide it in the oven. We'll be back. All right, the rest of our dough, we're gonna put it in the freezer. That's what we got left. That look like it'll make about 7 or 8 cookies. When we get the cookie spell, we just go to the freezer, let them thaw out, put it in the oven. All right, y'all, those right there are butter size there. I'm a butter size right there. I used a 1/8 cup, a regular 1/8 cup scoop to get that size right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we got right here. Nice farm cookie. That's what we got right here. They taste delicious, man. By melting that butter and putting that cornstarch in it, they're going to be chewy. They ain't going to be no hard, crunchy cookies if you do it right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, share the video. Don't skip the commercial, please. I keep saying it at the end of the doggone video. Don't never think of it to say it before the video. But if you do skip the commercial, let it play again. Don't worry about looking at it for the commercial to play. Share it. And the ones that haven't subscribed, subscribe and look at the videos. Share them with a friend, and everybody have a wonderful and peaceful day.